opposition of needs, values, and interests. A conflict can be internal, that is within oneself. Also, it can be two individuals, social disagreement, and a conflict of interest. I think James talked about why there are wars going on the inside of you.
Man.
I think James was adequate in talking about conflict. What do you think?
They was.
When he found out that people had another wife, they just didn't want God all by himself. She's not good enough by himself, all by himself. So they decided that they wanted more than just God. So they had problems. You ask, but you're not asking for everybody else, you're just asking for yourself. That's what James said. And you miss it. We have the same thing going on today, 2,000 years later. Everybody just think about themselves. What I can get. Not what I can give, but what I can get. I'll be finished in a moment. It ain't gonna be long. There's 6 things. I know I'm not gonna get through all 6 of them, but I'm gonna get through much of them as I possibly can this morning. 6 factors that contribute to conflict. Number 1, need. Everybody has a need. Might be different, but everybody has a need. Everybody needs something. Number 2, value. Number 3, benefits. Beliefs, not benefits, but beliefs. We always believe something different.
Yeah.
Number 4, expectation. We all expect something different. All right?
Yeah.
And number 5 is resources. Well, we have too much or too little. Our resources sometimes is limited. Causes conflict. And the last, assumption. Everybody like to assume something. You know the phone. I notice that a lot. Assumption. They broke it down to me what that word, when you break down the word assumption, what it really entails. But I wish I had time, but I don't. How do you deal with conflict? How do you deal with differences of opinion in the family? I think that's the first place to start, because most of our conflict comes from our family. Wouldn't you think so?
Yeah.
I said 99.9% come from dealing with your family. The other 1%, or 0.1%, come from outward. Most of conflict comes from within the family. How do you deal with conflict? Number 1, avoid the blame game. What is that? Well, she did this. He did that. You know how we get sometimes.
Yeah.
Want to blame others for our own troubles. Now I understand the war is on the inside of us, raging and want to come out. But we love to blame other folks. Adam did, the first man did, so that gives us the license to do the same thing, don't we?
Yeah.
That's what we think. If I did not marry that woman, I wouldn't have the problems I have right now. You have greater problems than you have right now. Or if I hadn't bought that car that you told me to buy, well, man, them shoes you gave me, now everybody laughing at me. I had a pair of, back in the day, you know, it wasn't that, you know, Nike is the thing then. Converse was the thing back in the day. I don't know about you. Everybody had the Chuck Taylors. So my mom, being the woman she is, and being so nice, decided to go out and buy me a pair of tennis shoes. I wasn't with her. And she bought me a pair of imitation Converse. Imitation. I went on to school thinking I got the real thing. And I looked at this. It ain't the real Converse. You know how that made me feel? It's like taking them off and walk around barefoot. Everywhere I went, they teased me about them Converse I had. They wasn't Converse, they were imitation. There was a basket, you know, the real things was over here. Or in the stock, you know, where they have everything in. The imitation was over here in a box, a big box. You know, you go through and you pick through it and you try to match up one shoe with the other. It didn't even come together. You got to match them up. But I understand, because I had to wear them, even though I didn't want to wear them. I had to wear them, so I got teased a lot. Wow. How do you handle conflict? Avoid the blame game. Blaming others. Pointing the finger. That's what we call it. Well, if you didn't do this, I wouldn't have did that. Finger out the whole time and not understanding. They say, 3 pointing back at you. Number 2, stay in the presence. What did that mean? You ever talking to somebody, you discussing, you know, we have discussions about a problem. Discussing money, and all of a sudden, the person say, well, you didn't put the top on the toothpaste. What did this got to do with the topic? Then they tell you, I don't know, put the top on the toothpaste. I'm talking about 3 weeks ago. Stay in the now. When you have conflict and you're trying to resolve conflict, don't talk about something that happened not even yesterday. If the matter happened today. My God. You think about it, because that happens a lot. I don't know about you, that happens a lot. You be talking about this and all of a sudden it goes off the subject into something else. And I'm like, and my thing at home, I love the Cowboys. You know, when they play on some Sundays, you can catch them on TV some Sundays, so I be in there. And they be losing sometimes. And all of a sudden, now because they lose, now all of a sudden, I ask them a question. Oh, you mad because your Cowboy lose? It ain't got nothing to do with the question I'm asking. What they got to do with the question?